How is it going? I hope everyone's doing well, and thank you for tuning in this video. Today, I'm here with my review for Night 1 of WWE NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Let's go and dive right into things, which of course started off on the pre-show, which featured Toni Storm taking on Zoey Stark. Now, I'll admit, I did not see this match, but Zoey Stark did defeat Toni Storm via a cradle, which surprised me. I thought for sure Toni Storm would get the win here, but Zoey Stark obviously very fresh in the women's division, but they're obviously very behind her, getting this huge win over Toni Storm. So, didn't mind that, but from what I heard, it was a pretty good match as well. So, I thought I'd go ahead and give my thoughts on that. And then, of course, we go to the main show, which started off with Kushida taking on Pete Dunne. I thought this was a great technical wrestling match to start the show. The match only went about 10 minutes, but they did everything they could to squeeze as much as they could in that time period. So, hats off to Pete Dunne and Kushida. Pretty much story of the match was, Pete Dunne working on Kushida's fingers. Kushida was trying to lock in any submission he could, locking the hoverboard lock after he did a transition off to the second rope on Pete Dunne. But Pete Dunne did pretty much anything he could to slither and escape every submission. So, both men just knew each other very, very well, and it made for a really great match, I thought. So, a very fun way to open the show. Towards the end, Pete Dunne was got locked into the hoverboard lock, but got his foot on the rope. Ended up doing a double stomp onto Kushida's hand, followed up with the finger snap, kick to the head, bitter end, 1, 2, 3. Pete Dunne defeats Kushida in the opening on the main show. So, like I said, great wrestling match. Started off, really fun stuff, and a great 10-minute sprint. From there, I'm going to the #1 contender Gauntlet Eliminator for the NXT North American Championship. Of course, the winner facing Johnny Gargano for the NXT North American Championship on night 2. Cameron Grimes, Dexter, Lumis, Bronson, Reed, LA Knight, Isaiah Swerve Scott, and Leon Ruff. I thought this was a great Gauntlet match. I thought everyone had their opportunity to shine in this match. Hot start was Swerve and Leon Ruff, brawling around ringside up until Bronson Reed pretty much came out and started beating the shit out of everybody. Cameron Grimes did great character work as well. Dexter Lumis, him being the creepy, and then of course, LA Knight at the end cutting a promo, coming out and, not really being the match that long. LA Knight was only in the match for a few minutes and got eliminated pretty quick, so I was very surprised to see that. But for the most part, like I said, yeah, everyone was able to get the opportunity to shine, and it made for a very fun Gauntlet match, if you ask me. MVP was Bronson Reed and Isaiah Swerve Scott, if you ask me. Those two end up being the final two competitors. But if I had one gripe with this match, it'd be that I do think they made Bronson Reed look a little too strong. Isaiah Swerve Scott ended up hitting Swerve's, was it call or whatever his finish is called, ended up hitting it like 3 or 4 times in a row on Bronson Reed, but Bronson Reed was able to just kick out of him. So wasn't really too big on Bronson Reed kicking out of Swerve's finish 3 times in a row, but it is what it is. At the end, Bronson Reed ended up hitting a huge slap to the head to Swerve, hit it with a power bomb, and then went up to the top rope for the tsunami splash, ended up getting the win. So Bronson Reed will face Johnny Gargano on night 2 of Stand and Deliver. Like I said, I thought it was a really fun Gauntlet match, and definitely enjoyed it. And then from there, I'm going to go to what I thought was match of the night, the NXT United Kingdom Championship match, Walter defending against Tommaso Ciampa. What a fucking match this was. Of course, Ciampa coming out, shaved head, completely going back to his black heart look, which I popped huge for. Wasn't a fan of the current old man looking Tommaso Ciampa, with the jeans and everything. Well, not the jeans, but with the pants. So to him to go back to the black heart gimmick for the night, I thought was fantastic. And him and Walter went out there and had an incredible match. This was outstanding with those two going out there beating the shit out of each other. At one point, Ciampa ran the ropes for like 2 minutes straight, just, trying to clothesline Walter out of the ring and just knock him down to size. Walter, injuring his hand. I thought he did a phenomenal job of selling his hand where he couldn't even, chop Ciampa because his hand was hurt so bad. So there was a lot of great stuff in this match. Both men's chests were absolutely destroyed from the chops. It was awesome. This match, I can't praise it enough. Ciampa was able to pull out the crash air raid onto Walter not once but twice, even at one point doing it off the second rope. Just incredible stuff from both men. And I thought both men went out there and put on an awesome wrestling match. And like I said, definitely match of the night. And it was credible. Walter at the end was just absolutely unloading on Ciampa, and Ciampa was unloading back. But Walter was able to Walter was able, there we go, to end up hitting 2 power bombs on Ciampa, but Ciampa actually kicked out of them. But then, Walter gave him a huge German suplex, and then Ciampa was trying to, come back, but huge chop from Walter, and 1, 2, 3, Walter defeats Ciampa to retain the United Kingdom Championship. like I said, outstanding match, incredible match of the night. Really enjoyed that. Would love to see more from them. And of course, Walter continues his amazing reign as United Kingdom champion. And following that match, we had the triple threat match for the vacant NXT Tag Team Championships. Of course, MSK, Grizzled Young Veterans, and Legado del Fantasma going at it for the NXT Tag Team titles that are vacated by Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan. And this was another great match here. I thought all three teams had a fantastic opportunity to shine. I thought everyone was able to get their own stuff in. I thought MSK had a great showcase, as well as Grizzled Young Veterans and Legado del Fantasma. I think they've been a team that's kind of been on the radar and hasn't really been showcased as much. And I thought they had an excellent showing here, especially a spot where Mendoza did the spiral into the outside, while Joaquin Wild did a dive to the Sami Zayn turnbuckle spot where he goes through the post and does a DDT. Yeah, awesome stuff there. Really enjoyed that from them. And I just thought every team, like I said, had a great showing here. It's honestly kind of a PWG style match where it's kind of chaotic and all over the place, where the rules didn't really apply at sometimes. The referee just kind of let hell break loose, for majority of it. So yeah, it was really, really fun. A lot of great near falls as well, to the point where, any team could have easily won at any moment. So I thought they did a great job of, letting everybody believe that any team could have won at any moment. But towards the end, Grizzled Young Veterans and MSK were able to take out, each member of Legado del Fantasma. Grizzled Young Veterans took out Mendoza, or I think it was Mendoza, with the Doomsday device onto the outside, and then of course, as well as MSK hitting Mendoza with a stomp, burning hammer onto the outside as well. So they took out Legado del Fantasma, and then of course they had a stare down, which I thought was great, because they were the final two teams in Dusty Classic this year, back at TakeOver Vengeance. So I thought they played greatly into that, and they went at it, fed off that energy, and towards the end, MSK ended up hitting their finish onto James Drake to get the win and become the brand new NXT Tag Team Champion. So yeah, definitely wasn't surprised by that. I thought for sure MSK would get the win. I think Legado del Fantasma would have been a good pick, just as a kind of a dark horse. I don't think anyone would expect them to win, but to give them the titles, with Santos Escobar being the NXT Cruiserweight Champion, I think it would have added more to their group. But is what it is. What can you do? Very happy for MSK. I will say this. I was not a fan of them as the Rascals, but they are doing an excellent job at getting over. I think they're very likable, and they've been very, very fun to watch as well. So no problem at all with MSK winning tag team titles. Like I said, that was a great match with each team getting a great opportunity to shine. And then, of course, go to the main event, which was for the NXT Women's Championship. Shirai defending against Raquel González. This was a really good match here. I thought both women looked great. Raquel González. Their styles are so different, where, obviously Raquel is a powerhouse, and then you got Io, who's, smaller than her. I thought they were able to, bounce off each other greatly. And, Io was just fantastic. I thought she always looks amazing, but she definitely, did her best to make Raquel look as, good as she possibly could. Whether it's selling or just having Raquel throw her around and make her look dominant, whatever she could. I think Io did a phenomenal job at, making Raquel González. I'll go as far as saying that. I think then Raquel pin her at War Games. So I think they've been doing a phenomenal job with Raquel since War Games, and it definitely paid off here, if you ask me. They fought up into the stage area while Raquel gave her a one-arm power bomb onto the stage. Back in the ring, Io was able to hit the moonsault for a near fall. Believe it or not, Raquel González actually kicked out of the moonsault, which is a huge deal. Back onto the ramp, onto the skull at the stage. Io did a huge splash onto Raquel right there. But back in the ring, Raquel got the upper hand, and Raquel ended up hitting, of course, the one-arm power bomb. And 1, 2, 3, Raquel González is their brand new NXT Women's Champion. I think it was the right call. Once, like I said, Raquel got that big win at War Games last year. I think her being next in line and, being the one to defeat Io was the right call, and them to follow through with that plan definitely was the right decision. I think it was the right time too. You know, Io's been champion for almost a year, and Raquel González, I think she's red hot right now. You know, they were the first NXT women's tag team champions with her and Dakota Kai, and to see her, you know, get the opportunity to become the women's champion and have her win it in such a dominant fashion against Io Shirai, I definitely think is a star-making performance. So Raquel González, she's a made person as far as I'm concerned. And like I said, I thought her and Io Shirai had a really good main event to close night one, which I thought overall was a really good takeover. I thought it was a really fun show. Nothing bad on the show if you ask me. You know, it had a hot start with Kushida and Pete Dunne. The Eliminator was a lot of fun. Walter and Ciampa, like I said, was match of the night. You know, the triple threat was chaotic and over the place. And, of course, you had a star-making match with Raquel González become the brand new NXT Women's Champion. So, all in all, great show. No complaints from me. I really enjoyed it. I think you had a lot of stuff to come from it. And definitely was a great setup for night two. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please feel free to like below. And of course, until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching the video.